Hi, everybody. Elida Zweidler-McKay. I'm here with ZM Coach, where we're all about helping you take your career to the next level, whether that's moving up in your current organization, getting those pay raises and promotions that you deserve, or finding a new job somewhere else that's going to be a better fit and set you up for future opportunities. So today I want to talk to you about what I see as the number one key ingredient to your ability to move ahead, and that is your authentic, calm, confident executive presence. So one of the things that I've noticed is that people who tend to get noticed, who tend to get opportunities, who tend to be sort of a go-to in their organizations are people who just exude a sense of executive presence, of gravitas. People turn to them and feel like they're in good hands, like they know the person that knows what they're talking about, knows what they're doing. And this is one of the things that I work with my clients on, really building these skills, learning how to come across with that kind of presence and that kind of openness that has people trust you and see you as somebody who knows what they're doing and see you as someone that they can trust to take work forward or to be a good leader or to, kind of run an important initiative, that kind of thing. The number one thing I think underneath that to getting to that really strong executive presence is your ability to stay calm under pressure. So this came up for me I don't know, about a week ago. My husband and I have been doing a fair amount of travel because our son is off to college, so we're empty nesters. So he's been doing a lot of business travel, and I've been going along because I can work from anywhere. And we had a situation the other night where our flight coming home from Houston was delayed. And it was one of those things where it got, it was supposed to go in the kind of early afternoon, and it got delayed and it got delayed and it got delayed and it got delayed. And then finally at the very end of all that, no surprise, it got canceled. And I want to tell you, the way people responded to that situation was really shocking to me. Like, I've traveled a long time. I've seen a lot of people get upset, but it was like a mass of people flooding the customer service desk. They were clearly angry and upset, and they were taking that out on the customer service representative, which was a real shame. But also the customer service representative was prepared, I mean, in the sense of defensive and like really almost yelling at people to step back, step away, stop yelling. Like, so it was almost like a shouting match between the customer service person and the customers who were trying to, get their flights rearranged. And it was so shocking to me because over my career, anytime I've needed something from someone, I have found that it is so valuable to be able to stay calm under pressure, to be assertive but not attacking, and to be kind. And I'll tell you a story, another travel story, because this is what came up for me. Years and years ago, I was on a business trip, and the connecting flight that was going to take me home from London was severely oversold. And there were a couple of us who had come in from other airlines and didn't realize that we had to check in again for this London flight. So we weren't checked in. So we found out that we weren't checked in. And the guy in front of me got to the desk and just berated the staff member. This is unacceptable. I shouldn't have to check in again, like all these things. And she, was so apologetic. I'm so sorry, sir. Apologize for your inconvenience. We're going to get you on this flight if we possibly can. Please hold in there with me. She took his information, etc. And then it was my turn to go to the desk. And because I've had really good mentoring and people who taught me how to do this, was just very kind. Like, wow, it looks like you're having a really hard day. And I'm sorry, I didn't know I was supposed to check in for this flight. It didn't occur to me, but if there's any way you can get me on this flight, I'd really appreciate it. It'd be really nice to be able to be home tonight. Well, the punchline of that story is that their business class, which is what the other guy and I were both supposed to be flying in, was oversold. They put me in the front of the airplane. Like, this is British Air back in the day, and it was like a private cabin, and this was before people had their own videos at their seats, but they gave, like, in the very front, I had my own DVD player and I could watch whatever I wanted. And the guy in front of me who had been so cruel, they put back in economy. So it was such a great lesson in my 20s of like how far you can go if you're really being kind and open and, clear about what you want, but not from a demanding sort of awful place. And so that scene was playing out for me again on this most recent trip, and thinking about, what a battle it's become. And I think not just in flying, I think we're in a period now in our society where it's almost become more acceptable to be um, rude and to yell and to be really demanding in a not very kind way to customer service people. And we're all paying the price for that because no one wants those jobs. So, flights are having problems because there aren't enough people to work the counters and things, because partly pay, so that's an issue for another day, but also because they're treated so badly. So, it's a challenge for airlines to get people to work, and for other service industries to get people to work because people are being treated so badly. So that's the system level impact. But personally, if you are someone who doesn't yet know how to be really calm when the pressure's on, how to take your anger and your frustration and center into it and channel it into some kind of productive output, that is going to be the number one thing that's going to hold you back in your career. When you come across as someone who's flustered or demanding or gets really angry and anxious and upset, you are not going to be able to be the kind of leader that your team needs you to be, or that your organization needs you to be. And with rare exception, my experience is that will hold you back in your career. There might be a place for you where the whole company's like that, so it's okay, so you can get ahead. But my experience is that those kinds of organizations tend not to do very well for very long, and that your own career will suffer as a result. So when you're wanting to build a really strong, confident executive presence that lets people know that you can handle challenges, one of the first things that you need to work on is how to really get yourself calm and centered no matter what's happening around you. That doesn't mean that it's not okay to feel angry, that it's not okay to be upset. It absolutely is. But there's a pause between all the feeling of that and then what you choose to put out into the world. And as a coach, I think it is my duty to teach my clients how to do that so that they can come across with this sense of gravitas and seriousness and kindness that's going to help them get what they want, pull people together, solve problems without chaos, and really help them, their teams, themselves, their organizations move through whatever challenges are going on. So if that is a skill that you don't have yet, I strongly recommend that you find ways to build it. And that one of the things that I work with my clients on are step-by-step the core pieces to put together to be able to build that skill, so that when something's coming at you that has you feeling rattled or ruffled or upset, you can handle that in a way that shows your team and your organization and your boss and everybody that you're up for the challenge, that you can move through it, that you can lead people through it, and that you're not going to fly off the handle or be upset or be, chaotic and unable to process. So if that's something that's of interest to you, if that's a skill that you feel like you've been missing, I have a couple of possibilities for you. One is, obviously, my team and I would love to coach you through that and help you build those skills for yourself. We have a coaching program that we offer to people that is about building leadership skills, and executive presence is one of those core skills. So you can book a call with a member of my team and we'll talk with you about your situation, what you want to learn, where you want to grow. And if we can help you get there, we'll let you know what that would look like. The other possibility I want to bring up for you is that my colleagues and colleague Ben Benjamin and I are leading a workshop coming up here in November on giving and receiving feedback. And that is one of those moments when you're giving feedback or when you're receiving feedback that can be kind of anxiety producing, or can cause some upset. So we will be looking specifically at that, at how do you manage your own physiology when you're receiving feedback that's maybe not coming at you in the best way. And then also, how do you manage it when you're giving feedback, especially if it's feedback that is a little bit critical or about something that somebody needs to change. That workshop is coming up in the middle of November. There's still some slots if you'd like to join in. We'd love to have you there. You can check that out at uh, on my website at zmcoach.net and just look for communications training, and that'll take you right to that particular information about that workshop. So, Grace Under Fire, learning how to manage your own affect, learning how to stay calm under pressure, learning how to take the upset and the frustration and the anxiety and the fear and the chaos and channel it into getting what you want. Core skill. Would love to help you build it. Take care.